Hey makeup friends, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then hello and welcome. My name is Kara, and today I'm going to be giving you an update on my project pan. It's been a while since I did an update. Normally I do them at the end of every month, but if you're not aware, at the beginning of September I underwent surgery, and the recovery was much longer than I anticipated, and it really hasn't been until the last week or two that I've been going back to the office full time and actually applying makeup. I didn't wear it throughout pretty much all of September, so there was really no point updating then. Normally I would do it at the end of October, but you know what? I felt like filming today, so we're gonna take advantage of it. Here we are. What I'll probably do is just ride it out till the end of the year and do one more update rather than another one in November and again at the end of December. So we have had some very good progress, and some of these items that aren't yet finished, they're very close. Some of them I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm not going to finish by the end of the year, but we're still going to keep plugging away at them and see what kind of progress we can do. But for now, why don't we just start off on a high note and take a look at the items that I have finished, because there are 4 of them, and some of them I'm very excited to see go. For example, this brow pencil here from e.l.f. This is the Instant Lift Brow Pencil in deep brown, and she is done. There is nothing left in there. I will not be repurchasing this. Not that this in and of itself was a bad product, it's just I don't really enjoy using brow pencils. I don't like them. I do have 2 more in the drawer. I have no need to repurchase this. So, I mean, if you're in the market for a brow pencil, it wasn't a bad one. I don't necessarily think it's the best one out there, but price point is there. It does come with a spoolie. It is fully retractable, which was nice. Like, you could twist it up, twist it back down. I will never understand when brands have products that are not fully retractable. Why is that even an option? But this one was fully retractable, thankfully. But it's done. I'm very happy to see it go. Another product that I wasn't entirely sure would ever actually finish, I mean, I knew that it would, obviously, but it took a very long time, was this lip pencil here from Gerard Cosmetics. And I mean, there is a little wee nubbin, but I can't sharpen it anymore, and I am not about to get a knife out and whittle it down. I don't care that much. I actually have another full size of this, so I'm good. But if I put it in the sharpener, I can't actually sharpen it. I can barely twist it. So she's done. I used this the last time today. There is still a little bit of the pencil lifted above the wood, but it's really scratchy. So we're gonna just call this one done, and that feels good. And then we have this foundation stick here from Merit Beauty. This was in the shade Linen. It is their Perfecting Complexion Stick. It's marketed so that it can be sort of a concealer or a foundation. It does not have nearly enough coverage for concealer for my personal liking, so I just used it as a foundation. But again, it is completely done. I could dig down into it, but I'm not going to, so we're calling this one at an end. I didn't initially love this, I will say that. It did grow on me, and so I'm kind of torn. I'm not in the market for another stick foundation, but as far as stick foundations go, I did like this one. I just kind of had to learn how best to apply it, how much to use. There was a bit of a learning curve to it, but it did look nice throughout the course of the day. It did offer sort of light coverage. I couldn't even really build it up to medium. So if you just want the bare minimum, it's a good option. I'm just not in a hurry to repurchase it. I have so many complexion products that I really don't need to repurchase it. And it really doesn't rank in my top 5 favorites. So while it was good, I don't love it, but I'm glad that I got the use out of it, and I'm glad that it's done. Finally, we have the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Hollywood Filter, whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. All of the lettering on it has long since rubbed away. And I have to give a special thanks to my lovely subscriber, Nani Fuss, who sent me this little guy from Amazon. It's just a little spatula thing, and that's how I was able to get everything out of this bottle that I possibly could. I'm not in a hurry to repurchase it. I'm really not. It was nice. It did add a nice glow to the skin. For my own personal preferences, it was too much for wearing on its own, but it was nice under foundation. I just don't know that it's necessary for me. If I'm going to wear it as a primer, I could just get a glowy primer. Like, this runs you about $60 Canadian. I don't feel that I need to spend that to get the same effect. So again, I'm glad that I got the use out of it. I just don't think that I'm going to repurchase it. So then let's take a look at an item that I am like this close to finishing. Like, give me a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and I think it'll be completely done. And that is the Meteorites from Guerlain. So as you can see, maybe if I can do it without them falling all over the place. Oh, can I? There's very little. It's basically, oh crap, now there's even less because I just dropped them all over my desk. There are just a few little tiny spheres of powder, and the rest of it is pretty much all disintegrated across the bottom. So what I've been doing, because the pearls themselves are so small now, is I just agitate the hell out of it, break them up even further so that it's just a dusting in there, and then I go in and apply that. But it's very close to being finished. I mean, value for dollar here, that is for sure. This has lasted forever, and I really do like it. Again, it's had a bit of a learning curve, and that's kind of why I enjoy doing these projects, because it kind of forces the issue and you have to get used to using a product, and either that's going to seal the fact that you don't like it, or you're going to learn how to use it for your own preferences. And that's the case with this one. I have learned to thoroughly enjoy it. I really do like how it looks on the skin. Again, it was more so a learning curve of how much to apply, what brush to use, things of that sort, just for your own interest if you are. The brush that I use is the brush 100, the foundation blending brush from Il Maquillage. It's just perfect for the finishing powder because it's dense enough that I can stipple stuff on and blend things around, but it's soft enough that it does blend the powder. It doesn't just leave big dustings of stuff all over my face. I don't know how to describe what it is that I'm saying, but at any rate, this is the brush that I use, and it's worked really, really well with the Guerlain Meteorites. I do have the bronzier version, so I'm not going to be purchasing these ones anytime soon. I'll use the other ones, and I have a myriad of finishing powders that I need to get through before I repurchase. But once I make a significant dent in them, I would definitely get these again. I really, really enjoyed them. Now, let's talk eyeshadow palettes. So on the one hand, we have the Rose Gold Remastered palette. This is from Huda Beauty. I've been focusing specifically on the one shadow, as you can see. And we've made really good progress on this one. There is significant pan there. I think within a few weeks, I could probably end up just repressing it. Right now, I can still get the brush into it fairly easily. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful shade. I have managed to find somewhat of a dupe in my collection, but it's no longer available. So I hesitate to share it with you, but it's one of the, let me see. It's one of these, what the hell is this? The Cream Foil Longwear Eyeshadows from KVD Beauty in Crystal Rose, and it is very similar. There are some tonal differences, but if you swatched two of them side by side and didn't tell me which one was which, I would have no idea. So I obviously am not going to repurchase an $80 palette for one shade, but I'm very pleased to know that I have something incredibly similar, so that once this shade is completely done, I still kind of have it in my collection. So I like that. So this one I'm just chugging away on. We'll see if I can actually finish it by the end of the year. If I wore it more consistently, then yeah, I could definitely get through it because there's really not that much left. It's so beautiful that actually using it was kind of tricky for a while there because I didn't want it to finish. And then I discovered that KVD one, so now I'm let's finish her, get this entire palette out of my collection because I'm not a huge fan of the rest of the shades that are in here. And then I can start working on this one. So then that brings us to the other palette that I've been working on, the Tartelette in Bloom. Hold on to your butts. We now have pan in every shade. This was the last one to develop pan. I, if you recall, was not even planning on using those two shades, and yet, again, I figured out how to make them work for me. And frankly, I had to start by scratching off like the hard pan off the surface, and then they've worked beautifully ever since. I still love this palette. I will say I'm starting to get bored of it, which, I mean, here we are in October. I think we're doing pretty good, because normally I get bored of stuff like 13 days after I start a project. But I'm starting to get bored of it. We're going to talk about some other products in just a moment, but bear that in mind. I'm so thrilled with this progress. Now, at my last update, I had said I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to fully call it quits on this. And I thought like maybe when I hit pan on that last shadow, then I might just retire this palette. I don't feel the need to retire it right now, but I'm going to bring something else into the mix, and we will get to that momentarily. So, setting those aside, we've got 3 more items to talk about. One of them is this highlighter here from ColourPop. This is Flexitarian. Again, we're making really good progress on this. I am very pleased with the amount of pan that's in there. I do not think, realistically, I'm gonna finish this by the end of the year. I think it's gonna be very close, and there's really not gonna be much product left, but I definitely don't think I'm gonna finish it because you just use such a little amount, and a little goes a long way with this. I just don't see myself finishing it, but I am just blown away with the progress that I've made on it, and I'm very proud of that and very happy with it. And then we have the perfume that I had brought in, I believe, at the last update, maybe at the end of July. That would make more sense to me. Probably the end of the July, I brought this one in. This is the Aqua Allegoria from, what is this? Aqua Allegoria Herba Fresca from Guerlain, I believe. It does not say, but I believe, yeah, wait, does it? Oh, in microscopic letters it says it, yes, it is. You can see where I was, maybe, I hope. Yes, you can see where I was, where I got to. It is definitely more of a summery scent. There's just something weird about it, and I can't quite place my finger on it. Like, I don't know. It has like a hint of air freshener kind of quality to it, where it just smells very artificial. And I understand like perfume is a manufactured thing. Like I'm not sitting here rubbing rose petals on myself. Like I get it. But this, there's just something. It's just a little harsh in a way that obviously I can't put my finger on. It keeps me from loving it. Once that initial harshness kind of wears itself off, I do like the perfume. I'll definitely not repurchase it. And in fact, I'm not entirely sure I'm gonna keep what's left. I might let my daughter do the sniff test and see if she wants this. I know she loves the other one that I have. I don't know if you can see it here. The coconut fizz one, she loves that. All of the use that's in here is pretty much my daughter sneaking in and stealing it. So she might like this one. I'm just like, it's like a solid 5 out of 10 for me. Like it's not bad, but it's not good. And I've got others. I'm retiring it from the project, in case that wasn't abundantly clear. And I will talk about what I'm bringing in instead in just a moment, because we have one more product from the original project pan. Honest to God, I think you're gonna have to bury me with this thing because I don't think it's ever gonna end. And that is the Makeup Geek. I always wanna say Makeup Forever. The Makeup Geek eye pencil here in Espresso. I mean, obviously they don't make it anymore because Makeup Geek doesn't make anything anymore. But it's never gonna end. Never gonna end. So if we take a look at the actual progress that I've made on it, very minimal. Again, I was not wearing makeup throughout pretty much the entire month of September. And again, even at that, like the progress is so minimal on these kind of products. Which one is it? It's over on this side here. Very little difference between August and now, August 1st and now. So all of August, all of September, most of October, I've made very little progress on it. I'll keep plugging away at it. I will keep using it. I really do like the pencil. So it's not like I'm frustrated in that I hate it and I want it over with. I really do like the pencil, but like, oh my gosh, they last forever. And then I look at how many pencil eyeliners I have. just this little container here. This is all pencil, like, what the fuck? It's all pencil eyeliners. Plus, Odin's Eye had sent me all of their eyeliners as well. I have done something with 2 of them. I don't know where they are, but like, there's even more. I am good for pencil eyeliners. Like I've got every color conceivable. I don't need any more. And it's amazing how long they last. So the fact that I've amassed so many of them just makes my head spin at this point. But moving on from there, I said I was going to talk about the products I'm going to bring in, including the perfume. So let's start there. You might recognize this one because I brought it in, I think last year when I was trying to do some sort of project-y pan thing. Yes, when I did it. I did it with Kelly from K Bella Beauty. We did a year-long project together. I had included this in there. This is Sunflowers from, is it Elizabeth Arden? Is that right? Yes, it is. It's such a nostalgic scent to me. It just takes me back to high school. I love it at this time of year. This is just such a perfect fall scent to me. I mean, for me to say it smells like sunflowers, I don't actually know what the hell a sunflower smells like, but I'm assuming it smells like this. Do sunflowers smell? I guess they do. But I love this I love this perfume. So why would I struggle through something where I'm like, okay, you got to give it like 15 minutes for that harshness to dissipate before it actually smells tolerable, when I could just use something that I love. So this one, I'm going to play it by ear. I'm not entirely convinced that I'm still going to want to apply this one in December, because to me, this is very tied to autumn, but we'll see. We'll see. But that is coming in for now, and I'm going to be focusing on that fragrance. So now, the end of the year is in sight, and I do plan on doing another inventory of all of my makeup in my entire collection at the end of the year and seeing where I'm at. So I'm trying to finish some of these like last little straggly bits of products up. So I have brought in a number of them here. I haven't done any marking on anything to show where the progress points are, because like I said, I plan on doing the next update in December. So really, I'm hoping at that point it's just like, yep, she's done, because these products are on their last legs. So in no particular order, I've got a primer here from Annabelle, Canadian company. Like, there's this much left in it. I feel like within 2 weeks I could finish that up very easily. So this is one I just want to focus on it and just get it out of my collection. And then I do have 2 other little sample size primers that I'm also going to focus on just to get rid of them, just to like decrease that collection number, really. On the one hand, we have the Glow In Balm from YSL, and then this one is from Laura Mercier. This is the Radiance Foundation Primer. So again, where I was saying like, I don't really need to spend $60 on the Charlotte Tilbury, because I could just use a product like this. Now, granted, off the top of my head, I don't know what the retail price of the full size would be, but even this one here from Annabelle has a very similar effect, and this one is a drugstore product. It's like maybe $12, $13 at most. So I feel like I'm good. I'm covered. So I'm going to be working on those 3 primers. Now, I don't know how there's so little in this concealer. I am mystified. Again, blame my daughter and her friends because they come in here and they play a lot. So I'm thinking maybe they're the reason for this. But regardless, there's very little left in this tube. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Light Sand, and I actually really like this concealer. So while I find it hard to like just stick with one concealer and one concealer only, I'm going to try to do so with this one, if only just to finish it by the end of the year. I have an entire basket of concealers, and oh my goodness, it's overwhelming. I will probably do a declutter of them at some point, but this one has so very little left in it that we'll see where we get. We'll see where it takes us to at the end of the year. If there's like hardly anything left, I might just continue on with it, or I might just get rid of it. I don't know. That's a decision for future me. Okay, foundation. Foundation. I've shown this on my channel for years. It is so old, they don't even make this product anymore. This is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Powder Foundation in Classic Ivory. And there's really not that much. I've already repressed it before, so there's really not that much left in here. Now we're getting into the time of the year where I don't mind wearing powder foundations. I don't like it in the summer because sweat, but I tend not to sweat so much in November, December, October, where I woke up and our car was covered in snow today. It's October 20th. It's wholly unacceptable. But regardless, powder foundation at this time of the year works well for me. I really love this one. I have no issue, like no concern about being able to finish it by the end of the year. Okay, then we have a bronzer that I'm going to be finishing up. This one is from Nude Sticks. It is the All Over Bronze color in Bondi Bay. And there's really not that much in there, just a little nubbin. Again, I'm not gonna track these, like do a starting point and an end point. It's either gonna be finished or it's not, but we got 2 months to try. I have no doubt that I can finish that in 2 months. I actually really do like the product. Obviously it's just like a little sample. It came in a little trio of shades. I really like it. It blends nicely. I'm wearing it today. Like it just warms up my skin a little bit. I like it. That's all I can say about it. I've got a brow gel that I'm going to work on. This one is the Wow Brow from e.l.f. And honestly, there was no rhyme or reason as to why I chose this one. It's just I've had it for a while, so I figured let's just bore down on it and see where it gets us. I am very happy not to be using a pencil anymore. I really do like this one. I would repurchase this one again, no hesitation, except that I have like 6 brow gels sitting in my containers right now, so I don't need to, but I really enjoy this one. I look forward to using it for the next 2 months. Then I have a foundation. No, it's not. I have a mascara that I'm trying to finish up. This one is the Huge Extreme Lash Mascara from Stila. I've mentioned this one before. It is a suitable replacement for my beloved Bite Upswing Mascara. Very similar kind of wand, very similar kind of effect. I give the edge to the Bite, but we can't get it anymore, so this is a very close second. I really enjoy it, but I've had it for a very long time. Like, my eye doctor would probably be very concerned that I'm using it that length of time, and that's why I'm just deciding, like, let's just use it until either the end of the year and then we'll bin it, or until it is complete. Like, I have no idea how much is in there. There's no way to track that, but we'll just use it until we can't anymore or until the end of the year, whatever happens first. Now, I brought out an eye primer. I don't really think I'm gonna finish it by the end of the year, but I figured let's just throw one in there just for the sake of having one that I'm focusing on, because I'm kind of rotating through them all and like not making any progress on any of them by doing so. So this one here is a sample from Lorac. This is the Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. I don't actually like the delivery mechanism of it. It looks like one of those like old school lip glosses, but basically I just squeeze it out, put my finger on it, and then just dot it from there. Like, I would never sit there and smear this on my face from here, but that's neither here nor there. I like the primer itself. It's just a clear primer. I would prefer that it masks the discoloration that I have, but it doesn't. But regardless, it's fine if I just put some color cosmetics on top of it. There's the masking right there. So I don't love it, but it works. It's functional. Yay. So then finally, I do want to bring in another eyeshadow palette and a single shadow as well. Not that I have any intentions of actually finishing them or even panning them. One of them already has pan. We'll get to that in a second. I just want some variety. I'm just starting to feel a little bit limited by this palette. So what I thought I would do is bring in this palette. This one I've had for probably close to as long as I've had this one, so I thought it was a good option. So this is the Just Peachy Mattes from Too Faced. Obviously it's been around for absolutely ever. I am nowhere near hitting pan on any of these shades, but I've been really drawn more towards those like warmer kind of tones. That's what I'm wearing today. And I'm just finding that this pink shade in here and then this warmer shade over here, just not rising to the level of warmth that I want it to. But I do think that these two color stories together are quite complementary, so I think that I can use them in conjunction with each other. And of course I also have that pink shimmery shadow going on in here, so I can use that as well. And then I brought out this one, although now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's kind of a dumb choice. This is Frog from ColourPop, but it's a pink shimmer, and I already have a pink shimmer. So we're gonna walk that one back really quickly, and I actually have an idea for the replacement. Instead, let's bring in this one here from Tarte. This is one of their chrome paints in Top Yacht, and I've had this for ages. I really love it. Just like a champagne-y kind of shimmery shadow. I think it would work really nicely with the warmer tones as well as the tones that are in the Tartelette in Bloom palette. So I am gonna focus on this one as well. Again, not necessarily trying to pan it or finish it, but just get some concerted use out of it, and then also just avoid decision fatigue first thing in the morning. I have a shimmery pink or I have a shimmery gold. Which one do you feel like? If I want to branch out, I'll branch out. I'm not like married to these products. These are like, I can use them only to the exclusion of all others. I've never set that as a hard rule for myself. But when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, it's so nice just having all the products and I don't have to think about it. So nice. So with all of that said, there we go. That is the update on the project pan. And I'm very pleased. I'm also very excited to be almost done with it. I'm gonna have to give some serious thought as to whether I want to do another year-long project pan in 2023, if I wanna shake things up. Feel free to leave suggestions on what you might be interested in seeing or a different way for me to get more use out of my collection. Love to hear some thoughts. But for now, I'm gonna wrap the video up. I would love to hear from you if there's any products that you are like this close to finishing or have just finished. Let me know down in the comments. But for now, I will just thank you for taking the time to watch. I will see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.